Hello and welcome to another video. Before we begin, if you'd like to see more videos like this one, please hit the subscribe button and smash the bell button. Cool. So what we're doing is having a little look at the Kill Team terrain that you get in the box set. Have a little bit of a progress report on what I'm doing and, as I say, a bit of a review. Basically, my thoughts on the terrain and how I'm getting on with it. So, this is what you get. So you technically don't have to build them as it tells you in the box. I've pretty much done it almost to the letter with exceptions. So the exceptions are, I think I made a mistake and put one of the columns in the wrong spot. That's it. There's probably, there might be other mistakes that you've seen, so let me know in the comments down below because that's always cool. So you get quite a bit of terrain. I forgot to get the board out. But it does mostly fill the board, so you can genuinely start playing with a decent set out of the gate. So Nicholas, speak proper English. My advice though is get some little bits of, as they call it, scatter terrain. So maybe like if you want to use official stuff like Aegis defense line, some little barrels or something like that. And then you can be cool and groovy and get started. So let's have a little look. So you get, I need to wait 1 moment. So you get two of this style. As you can see, what I've done on here is I've painted them black, dry brushed a grey, and then dry brushed a white over the stone. I've done a relatively dry brush of the metal, so I have missed some bits, I made some mistakes, but I will eventually go around and clean them up. I've done some screaming skull and the skulls. So the metal and the skulls are painted in GW. The grey and the black was just done with homemade mix of just general acrylics. So these are pretty good for, like I say, scatter terrain. So you could use this in a normal game of 40k. I'll try and get some size comparison, but we get two of them. Let's move them up. We'll get a doodah here. 1 second. So I would move it down to eye level or relative. As you can see, you can hide behind here, but you can see through the windows, which is pretty groovy. Quick jump over there, bada bing. So we get two of them, just there. You get one of this little corner bit, which is a bit strange, and I did actually miss some skulls, I think. There's skulls still need to paint, but there's some detail on the inside, and you can see the metal bit, the bit that sits around under the plaster. Is it plaster? I don't know. Walls work nowadays. And then you got some like pipes and stuff there, which is cool. Nice little details to pick out. And obviously, a better painter than I could do a bang up job of this. But personally, I like what I've done. I'm not finished. I've still got to put some washes on the metals and maybe do a dry brush, neaten up some things. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with how it's going. But what I'm saying here is a expert painter may well lose their mind of all the detail. So that's another piece that you get one of. This one is kind of like, actually it is like that one, so we actually get three of them. Nicholas, behave. So you get three of them, the original one I showed you. It's one of these, which is very similar to them ones over there, but I'll show you them. And again, you get two metal bits. As you can see, I need to neaten them up a bit, but that's fine. That's fine. We don't worry about that. And again, I'll give you a size comparison for this dude. Again, you can see out the window, so that's kind of cool. That's another one, slightly different. And we get two of these longer ones, which obviously could fit relatively like that. Have a little base of operations, and it works as well. But this is the detail again, quite similar to what we had on the last ones, with them two bits there, another bit there, and some more there. So obviously what you could do is you could have them facing either way out, because it's, I say modular, and that word gets tossed around way too often. Obviously it's not modular once you've glued it, but you can build this however you like. So you don't have to have that going that way, it can go off there. As long as you've got one of these pillars, these bits, they join onto these bits. They've got a little section. I think I had a good example of one here. So most of the walls end like this, so you could actually genuinely, if I really fancied it, wham that onto there, and that's how it would sit. So that's how modular they are, as people like to go on about. So with the exception of that little U part, that's everything else you can pretty much put as you like. Obviously you can slap as much glue on it as you like and it will do the job anyway. So this is the identical one to that one. We'll move on to the bigger ones. So we'll start with the smaller of the two big ones. Again, a lot of detail. I went for a gold colour on these, so as I said, I need to clean that a bit up and give a better other coat. I need to wash them and I need to put a dry brush on them. But they're pretty decent in my opinion, and there's your metal bit that's eroding. I think Games Workshop, Warhammer TV have a how to paint this exact piece, which obviously you can use the same strategies to paint your own. So again, yeah, you definitely need to touch up and a clean up, but it's all right. And skulls are a decent detail, quite popular amongst it, along the whole range. And then you get these little bits that sit on top. But you don't have to put them on. You can, or you can leave them off, and you can just stack them as and when you will, which we'll go over in a little bit of time. Now that, I won't lie, the underbit is a son of a gun to paint, and that's the politest way I can say. Because it's got loads of little bits. And I ran out of spray paint, so I had to manually use black and a brush to prime these, as I got about, what, on that one, possibly about, what, 70% done, and then had to go over them anyway. Cool. So it's a pretty decent bit of terrain. Obviously, there's your guy, he stands right there. He could see out the window, which is handy. He can stand over here for a bit of perspective, and obviously, he can sit on top. He can have some friends on there as well if he wants. So these are my neophyte hybrids, which I haven't really done a separate video for, I don't think. But as you can see, it can fit a decent amount of models on there. You can probably, let's see how many we can fit. Bear in mind, one of them's a 32mm base, so let's not hold that against it. I don't think I can put a full 10 on there. Maybe. Do I want to? Don't want to be so brave. So obviously, in the rules, advanced rules, if you're so close to the edge, you could fall, but we could genuinely fit, if we're overlapping a bit, 10 models on there, which is pretty handy. And this is the smaller of the two big ones. So let's move them. Whoops. Let's have a look at the last piece. As you can see on here, there's a lot of details. I still haven't picked all the detail, and I feel like I should go back and maybe paint the crest of arms. I'm not sure what to do. Maybe a gold colour, and then maybe a gold on the sword. Do the wings as I did in this one. Gold maybe. Do the skull, which I've already picked the skull out. Who am I kidding? There's some more metallic detail in here which I picked out. Maybe going a bit overzealous on a bit of a dry brushing. Let's see if we can zoom in. Yeah, so there's some mistakes in there, but most of the time you're likely not going to see them, so I'm not entirely going to lose my mind over that. But it's pretty spacious inside. We'll get some models in there in a minute. You can see this does lend well to a decent dry brushing. You cannot go wrong with the dry brushing on this. More skulls, more wings, more skulls, more metals. There's a lot of things going on here. I did mind green, the little leafy bits. I still need to tidy them up, but they're okay. Let's stop pointing out the faults. Let's just... so this one, what does it say? Imperator Invictus. And then again, Imperator Invictus. So I'm going to get a wash on them. And on the gold, I'm not going to wash the full thing. I'll be brutally honest with you. On Games Workshop, they say about washing it, but he does use a burn colour on the other one. I've used a black and a grey and a white, and I personally think there's enough depth on there. Apart from, obviously, I will be doing the metals and the skulls and what looks like parchment but isn't. And yeah. So overall, it's a pretty good kit. More metal exposed here. There's loads of little details in there which you could pick out, and you could be at this for a good month or so if you really felt like it. Unless you're doing it in my style, where you just go at it and just get it done. So the difference between this one and the other larger piece is this bit here, your models can't see out of because there's no windows. But obviously you can at this side. So you're exposed at this side to an extent, but obviously you're going to have -1 to hit, which is always cool. Let's get some perspective size. Thing is, I think I got 9 on the last one. I wasn't counting. I found a guy hidden, but I can't remember if I dropped him or not. So there's some guys in there. So you could probably get a dreadnought through there. Seems that's pretty big. That's 50mm. That is 75mm. So yeah, you could get 60mm base through there, or thereabouts. So that's pretty cool. What I'll do is now we'll have a little look at them in numerous combinations, so there is a point that you can stack these. So let's go on about and talk about that. So, as we just said, you can stack these. So a point that is made, saying about them being modular, is that you can literally, these little things fit into these little things. Point to the right bit, Nick. And you can just plonk it on top, like so. Now, I didn't glue mine exactly perfectly straight, so bear in mind, let's move that back a bit, because I need to zoom out to get it all in. But I didn't glue mine in. So what I would suggest is when you're gaming, in America you'll probably call it poster putty, but get some blue tack, wham a couple of blobs on there and stick it on, and you're going to have less thingy, because if you shake that, it'll be fine, but you can knock that off and break your expensive models. Not good in anyone's book. But obviously, so you can actually go a bit higher than this. So there's that bit there, which I'll zoom in and show you. Come on, get it there. So that one, again, I haven't glued it perfectly. But you can make a really tall building. So you can have dude up there on the window. You can be down here. You can have one down here. 3 levels of neophyte hybrids. Another one which I think is almost perfectly built for this bit goes on there, so you've got a basic front building. Now you could glue this in place like this. There's nothing to stop you doing it. I think if you're just getting your first kit for the first time, or if you're getting a second one, go for it. You know, glue it in, build a big bit. However, if it's your first time using the kit for the first time, you'll get more use out of it building it all separately. But obviously you could do a similar thing with this bit. Is that the same size? That'll do. So we'll have a bit like that, and then we'll have another tower over here. That works as well, pretty much. And then we've got 2 relatively tall buildings with cover at the top, and we've still got all this terrain down here. So, what do I think about the terrain in the set? Obviously, I've given you some of my opinions throughout the video, but I haven't really told you what I think the value of it is. So I got my box set, was it £72 from my local game store called Akron Games, and obviously I don't think you can get it anymore from places like Triple Helix or other places. Correct me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong, but my local, well, my main websites that I go on, I couldn't find them. So this was a bit of a steal at that expense, but I think a good portion of the value is on the terrain. The rule book's in there. You get 2 teams. You get Skitari, or well, Admech, and you get the Neophytes, which are pretty cool. You get your dice, you get your cards, which are really good as well. You get a chunk of a box, and it is very heavy, believe it or not. So overall, I think the terrain does provide a massive chunk of value in that, and it makes playing the game way easier, especially if you're if getting into Kill Team for the first time. This box set is of good value, providing obviously that you like Gene Stealer Cult or the Admech, but you could sell them on eBay with their cards and etc., and you could get a pretty penny, enough to buy at least 1 Kill Team, if not 2 of your own variety. So this genuinely is some good terrain. I'm going to be using it in 40k in general as well, not just for Kill Team, because I do like it. I may in fact possibly in the future pick up another set. So normally I do like making my own terrain, which is pretty cool, and it's definitely a way to save money. But this is a good quality kit, if I'm honest. I'm pretty happy with it. I think I'm going to leave the video there. If you've got any comments that you want to ask, any questions about the terrain, any problems you've had, let me know. And obviously people in the comments down below can read it. Any tips that you might have. Ooh, so I have a question. These floor tiles here, I could leave them as is. They're all right. But I feel like I want to paint them gold, make them stand out. Let me know what you think, or what advice you would give. So I've seen in the bone coloured one, I think they use like a bluey green colour for the floorboards. I'll call it floorboards, floor tiles. Let me know what you think I should do. But I'm leaning towards the gold because I like the way it stands out on the stone. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.